Backyard deer hunting at 100 degrees with a crossbow. William Hovey Smith, 2019. I'm the author of Crossbow Hunting and also of a series of outdoor books, as well as some business titles. Now, one of these business titles is Create Your Own Job Security, that advocates that you start your own business anytime, any place, at any age. This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. And a few moments ago, I took a deer from a deer stand. And this is archery season in Georgia. And we took it with our Parker Tornado crossbow. Now, this is a stand that's a tower stand, and my brother-in-law, nephew, and I put it up, a decade ago. And consequently, it has suffered some natural deterioration. So we replaced the floor a couple of days ago, and just yesterday I rebuilt an old chair that was beyond all hope by most people's standards and installed it. And as if to pay me back, well, the stand rewarded me with a deer this morning. As it turned out, this illustrates one of the problems of a tower stand, in that you have a wall around the stand. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see the field out in front, and that dark area below is, of course, the side of the stand. If a deer comes too close to the stand, you really cannot see it very well. So I just looked over down there in the field, and all of a sudden there was a deer head. Well, I followed it around as it fed, came over into the tree line here, and I shot it right about there, about 15 yards with the crossbow. This chair I just rebuilt, and it has served my brother-in-law and sister for decades, and then was sent to deer camp, and this back here was all rotted out, so I have a video on how I replaced the wood and resurfaced it. And I say, as if to reward me, yeah, this stand produced a deer today. So it's going to be nearly 100 degrees today. So I've got to get after that deer and get it cool. So we're going to go find it. The deer was shot right about here, and there indeed is blood. You can see it on that dark leaf. And it ran straight away. And so following up the trail, I see my arrow. So everything is looking favorable, so recovering a dead deer. Looking closely at the arrow itself, it is blooded all the way up to the nock. So yes, this arrow and these expanding points, and this is a Grim Reaper point, by the way, with extra long blades if you don't recognize it, passed through the deer. That is certainly true. So I'm going to go and get my dog and get my deer recovery kit, and we'll go back and find our deer. I'm going ahead and relax the tension on the crossbow by discharging it into my sand pit here. And I've got a heavy field point on it. And this doesn't damage the arrows appreciably. So Hector and I are ready to go after our deer. Well, yes we are. Well, I'm now rigged for deer recovery. I have a bottle of water, just in case I need it, or to wash off the deer a little bit. Leash for a certain hound dog. Gloves. Paper toweling, wiping off the deer, as well as marking trail if we have to. Drag rope. And a piece of torn off shower curtain, maybe to help wrap the deer or just protect the back of the trailer or the truck a little bit. So this is about what we're going to need, as well as clippers. We're going into country where there's going to be brush and thick briars, and it saves the hands considerably if you can just clip them out of the way rather than trying to tear them apart or cut them with a knife or something like that. A good thing about my deer recovery method here is right now these woods, after having been cut over, between 20 and 30 years ago, are now fairly open again. And I can take my long tractors back here, even with a mower deck on it, although usually I would have taken it off by this time. And the cart is low enough that I can easily load the deer on it. I don't have to attempt to lift it up to the back of a pickup truck. When I was a younger guy, I wouldn't have any problem. I could just put it on my shoulders and toss it in there. But now at 77, not so easy, fellas. We've got our deer skinned, gutted, and washed now. And the hit is actually right here where the arrow went in. And then it went transversely and down and exit here. So it took out a good section of the lungs through and then exited as you saw, and we found the blooded arrow on the ground. So that was what the penetration was for a 165-pound crossbow and this 125 grain rim Reaper arrow with the extra long blades. And we'll reuse this arrow and point again, by the way. You just sharpen it up, it'll do fine. Next steps. As you see, the sun is coming in on it. Ordinarily, 40 degrees or so, wouldn't worry about it. The carcass itself is cool still a little bit to the touch. But I've got a cooler with 25 pounds of ice in it. So I'm going to cut this into sections where I can put it in the cooler. And then that'll keep it until I can work it up in a more leisurely fashion. But the critical thing is to get it clean, get the insides out of it, and get it cool. And well, it's about 11:30 now, so we've accomplished that in reasonable fashion. Using, of course, some of our interesting knives, like this cleaver. We started from the bottom up, with first the legs, then the ribs, then the backbone, and worked our way up here to the last ham that it was suspended by. And this way we cut it up in small pieces that will fit better in the cooler, rather than trying to throw the whole carcass in the cooler. Even though it is a fair-sized cooler, it wouldn't have held this deer assembled. So this way the pieces cool faster, and I can get them in the house. They're not bleeding, not dripping blood all over the place, and process them at my leisure. The next one in this series is front yard deer hunting. For more information on my books, blogs, and more than 750 videos, you can go to www.hoviesmith.com. To find out more about Hovey's Knives of China, you can go to hoviesknivesofchinablog.co. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.